The agenda today is going to cover what it is, what is Gemini, how do you find it when you're using Gmail, and what can it do? And I'm going to give you a little tip at the end that I discovered something kind of neat that you can do when you're using the Gemini app on your mobile phone that might be helpful. Gemini is a tool that is available through a website or an app from Google. What it does is it basically will work with your Gmail, but in Gmail, you actually can use Gemini from inside of your Gmail account. You don't have to leave Gmail to use Gemini. You can do it and it'll communicate and understand some of the things going on in your email. Just a note, Gemini and Gmail requires that you have a paid Google Workspace account, a paid Google Gemini account, or be a member of Google Labs. What can it do? Well, you can write, you can edit, because you're working with text, you can summarize things, you can do some things where you want to with translation, you can reformat text, you can search your emails. This was really cool. I'm going to show you a search that I hope works again, because you never know when you do things live. It'll actually pull some things out of Calendar and let you communicate with your calendar, because calendar and Gmail are very tightly connected. It'll generate images right within Gmail, and you can ask a question. So while you're in Gmail, you don't have to leave Gmail to go to Gemini or to another AI. You can do all of these things right from within your Gmail account. It's kind of exciting. So I've set up, what I've got is my Gmail open in Mail here. This is me. These are some mail that I'm waiting to, that I've read. They're kind of shadowed because I've read, but I created a couple of demo emails ahead of time. And let me pull up one more screen with some of my prompts and instructions. See if I can get that up. There we go. I have first thing you can do is use it to summarize. Now, where do you find this Gemini in Gmail? Well, it's this little sparkle icon right up here in the upper corner. If you look to your profile picture and you just go to the left, you'll see this sparkle icon. And if you click on that sparkle icon, it opens up Gemini on the right-hand side. You don't need to do that always. So let's take a look at this email. I'm going to open this. And I have this email here. Hi, Bob. We're excited to invite you to our event. And let's see if Gemini can summarize this. So I click on the Gemini icon and I go down to the prompt box here and I just tap summarize this email for me. That's all I do. I don't have to tell it which email it is. I don't have to copy and paste anything to it. It recognizes that I am in Gmail and it's going to work with my Gmail. Now you can see sometimes you'll see a prompt come up directly on the email itself. If I had waited a few minutes, a little bit, I could have gotten that. But it says, here it is. Here's an email to an annual community dinner. Because some people write things that are really clear. Some things are a little more challenging to do. But it also will give me some other things here. It can suggest a reply as well. So if I want to, it'll recommend a reply. And then it can tap insert. And it'll insert the reply for me right there, and then I can send it right away. So just by using this little prompt box from the sparkle icon, you can get to these things. Now, if you want to close it, you just go over to the right here and click where my mouse is, and you click the X, that closes it. So that's one thing you can do when you're working with an email that you're reading. Let's compose an email. When you compose an email, I'm going to send it to my Bob at Bobology account here. Okay, and we'll take that and we'll say a subject. Let's talk about hi, let's get together. And then I click in the text box here. You'll see that there's a little icon called Help Me Write that shows up. If I click on that, it opens up a prompt box at the bottom here, whatever I want to write. Oh, that says, write my friend a speedy recovery in the hospital. a thank you for letter for my job interview, catch up with an old friend, something about apology to my child's teacher. I'm going to just say here, I hear it's hot in Los Angeles. Send some sympathy. And I'm just going to click on the create. You could hit the return key and it'll draft an email. It wrote, here it's hot in Los Angeles, and I wanted to send some sympathy your way. I hope you're staying cool. So this was my prompt. This is, a little more full writing. It's creative writing aid. I can recreate it or I can refine it. If I want to make it more formal or more elaborate or shorten it, I have some options there. I can always go into the prompt and do that. I say, I'd like to try a different response. Let's see what it does the second time around. Okay, pretty similar. Nothing really too much of a change. So, but it'll help you write almost any type of email. So if you're sure when you're sitting there and you're writing, an email and you're saying, gee, what do I start to get started with? You have the ability now to just click on this little cursor here, the stylus icon, and it'll help you write that email for you. So I'm going to just save it and close it. And I can say, well, back to editing. I like this. Okay, I'm going to say, yeah, that's good. It can give them some feedback on it. And I'm done with that email. I can then go off and discard that suggestion and go back to my email letter here. Okay, so let's take a look at something else I've got in my inbox. I've got a project update here. So let's take a look at something here where I've got a project update. The committee met last night, move forward. What would I like to do with this? Okay, well, let me see if I can get a summary of this. You can see a summarize button up here because that's really common. But I can go here and I can say, write a response to this that I will be able to review the edits later. And if you make a typo, the nice thing is that Gemini will do it. So it fills in the things that we might forget to fill in to make it sound more grammatically correct. John, that's great news. I'm happy to hear the committee approve the proposal. Thanks for preparing the budget and timeline. I'll be sure to review it for any edits or suggestions once you send the draft on Tuesday. I'll insert that and I will send that reply. And now I have my email done. Somebody wrote an email to me in Spanish. I want to get this translated. Summarize isn't going to help me this. I've got to go to the sparkle icon and I can just say translate. And I haven't said translate to English. I'm going to try this out. I'm going to see if it'll translate into English for me. Yeah, it does automatically. I would like to invite you to my home next Saturday for a family dinner. The meal will start at 7 and it will be a pleasure to have you. Please confirm you can attend. With love, Maria. Translation right from an email. So we can do rough drafts, we can do responses, we can do summaries. Let's take a look at something else. This is a checklist here that I wanted to focus on. And you can take an email and do it into a to-do list. So this says for the workshop next week, please do these things. That's really kind of confusing to me. Can you make this into a checklist? It's a list of bullets, but, it would be nice to have this all organized, okay, and really made simple. So here's the reminder. Here's the checklist. Register online before Friday. Bring your laptop and charger. Download the presentation slides. Arrive at the library. Okay, so it basically was a checklist already, but that's nice. And who sent the original mail about the workshop? It can check who sent it. It said Susan sent it. Who's the recipient? You can find out other recipients. It'll summarize those and do those types of things. And I've got longer emails in here too that I've got. So I've got some things where, let's take a look at email 6 here. I'm having issues with my home internet. The company mentioned something about low bandwidth. Can you explain what that means? Well, I could go out to something else and find it, or I could go to Ask Gemini. Can you explain this to what is bandwidth and write a response, and we'll see what happens. Instead of having to go outside, it creates a nice response. Hi, Carol, bandwidth refers to the maximum amount of data. Think of it like a highway. The more data, etc. Hope it helps. I'll insert that and I'll send it as a reply, and I'm done with that, which is kind of cool. So if I wanted to take this, for example, and find it, I think I've got a longer email here that I can look at. Let's see if I can go this some here. And let's see if I can format this in bullets. Okay, can you format this in bullets? Okay, it'll pull this out and format it in bullet points for me automatically. So you, just like you were composing with AI and Gemini, it's a generative AI tool. You're able to do all of these things right from within Gmail. Now, the other day I wanted to find out if it could search my mail, and I had read some disagreeing topics on it, but I wanted to see if I could find my last Amazon order, because I've used Gmail for my Amazon login. Oh my gosh, it actually found. It says your last Amazon was on Tuesday, August 12th. You ordered 2 MLB replica adult baseball caps. So I'm able to see that. If I go to sources, I can't reference chat. So I'm not sure how to pull up the order here in the email, but it can search your emails for you and tell you when you corresponded with something and other information about it. There might be more detail that you can get into, which is kind of nice, but it is something that you can do at the end with searching emails. It'll help you find anything. I didn't say what mailbox to look at. I didn't, ask it. You have the ability to use Gemini to search your email. You also have this other search tool here. So if I search here, I don't know if it's going to use the AI. So let's see if it finds my last. So you can see what it's doing is it's not really finding things using AI search. It's finding things based on what's in the body of the email or what's in the title of the email, whereas the AI search will do a little bit more. From what I understand, it's supposed to find calendar items, find the next Tech Explorer Zoom meeting. I don't know if it'll do that or not, if it'll find my calendar item or not, but it doesn't always do a great job, I found out so far. So some of those integrations are a little bit off. Now, one of the things I did discover, I'm going to switch over to my phone here, and this was kind of a cool thing to do because lots of times I'm working on my phone and I want to do something in Gemini and I want to send it to someone. I'm going to open up the Gemini app here. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to just start a new chat here, and I'll say, explain what Gemini can do in Gmail. I will give it a prompt here. So you're seeing it do the prompt. It gives you a nice little thing. This is where I got a lot of the tech topic from. Summarize, draft and write. You can edit. You can find and organize. You can search your inbox, find details about a person, analyze data, integrate with other Google apps. Google Calendar can create events. So it sounds like it'll add events. It may not find events, but it'll do some things. And it's possible to integrate with Google Drive. Now, on the mobile app, whether you're on Android or whether you're on an iPhone, there are 3 dots at the bottom of your chat response. If you tap those 3 dots, you will see that you have an option to export to docs, which will export it as a document to your Google Drive as a doc, or you can export it as a draft in Gmail. So it's drafting the Gmail and it's got the new email created. I will open it and now it's got a draft here for me that I have available to work with, that I don't have to worry about editing or modifying. It includes everything in it. Drafts are usually saved in the website as well, but we'll check that in a minute. So if I want to send it to myself, I've added this, and then I can tap on the send icon right up here, and then it'll send that email and it says sent. So right from Gemini, you can do an AI prompt, take that response, tap the three dots, choose, draft a Gmail, and then go to your Gmail. It'll open up your Gmail and give you the ability to send it right away. Now, if I go back to my web browser, because Gmail is integrated with everything, we'll go to Google Chrome here. And if I go to drafts, I've got a couple of drafts here. But if I look at my email and I want to see what's been sent, let's see if I can see sent. Explain what Gemini can do in Gmail. So I had the prompt typed wrong, and here's the email right in my Gmail account for me. Because sometimes it's easier to organize things in Gmail. I mean, a lot of people create labels, and you can assign labels to your Gmail. So if you are looking for a way to organize your AI prompt responses and you like using Gmail, every time you have a Gmail that you want to, a Gemini prompt that you have and you want to take it and send it to Gmail, you can always do that or put it in Google Docs. But they've done a nice job integrating Gemini and Gmail that give you a lot of capability right from within Google. There's one more thing that we can do, and we can say, can you insert a picture of a person using an AI robot? Okay, we'll see if it'll do that, because it does supposedly have image capability, and we're going to see if it comes up with this image capability and how it gives us the ability to insert it. Taking a little longer to do the image, so we'll find this out. There's our images. So it gave me 4 choices, and I can click on one here, and I can click on the insert button, and it'll insert it in an email for me, okay, which is really cool. Now I can send this to somebody right away. So even within Gmail, you have the image generating capability of your Gemini function that you have available. So thanks so much for being patient with me and working through a few little navigation glitches that I had. But I wanted to show you what you could do in your Gmail so that you had capabilities with Gemini. We obviously try it out, explore it. Just look for that sparkle icon or look for the little stylus with the sparkle icon when you're working with Gmail, and try it with Gemini. Gemini on iPhone, on Android, on web browsers, will work. And you always have the ability to select the option to send that Gemini prompt response as a Gmail to anyone you want to when you want to get it done that way. Well, thanks everybody. Take care. Have a safe week, and I will see you next week.